Blah, 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 talking on Twitch. Look at me, I'm talking on Twitch. Isn't this exciting? And yes, we have audio. Excellent. All right. And streaming on Dementia Radio now. And recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast. Brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hey, Devo Spice!
Hey, Luke Ski!
We have Captain Ambivalent in the house.
Hello! Welcome, Captain! Unfortunately, Michael Bali of Two Sleeps is kind of sick at the moment. Not COVID-related, just a massive head cold, so he will not be able to join us. But welcome to episode 625 of the Funny Music Podcast. Title of this week's episode is Righteous Volcano. We didn't use that one already, did we? I swear it sounds familiar. So. But my random word generator came up with that, and I liked it. But it also does kind of sound familiar, so hopefully it's not...
We may have used the word volcano before.
We may have used the word righteous before, too. In fact, I'm pretty sure we used the word righteous before. But anyway. So, this.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke failed and didn't show up.
Hey, what?
No, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to?
I finally figured out my... I filed an extension for my taxes, and I finally got around to doing all of the work I do to send in information to the person who does my taxes so that eventually she'll get them done, and that'll be a thing that's done. So,
yay, adulting. Yay, adulting.
Yeah. So aside from that, not too much besides just working and I realized yesterday that having gotten the taxes thing done, like, I actually don't have anything else pressing that I have to be working on. I could actually work on my the animatic I've been trying to work on the past year that I haven't worked on in about 5 months. So I kind of got my thoughts organized on that. I finally came to a realization earlier about the character of the design of my character Darius. He's supposed to have kind of kind of like me right now, like some amount of hair on his face, but he's not like committed to having a full beard or anything. Probably a little bit less than I have right now. And when I do the full color versions, I've been doing that kind of Homer Simpson-y, like, not with a hard black line, but like, kind of shading in that area with a darker tone. And there's just something about it that's been bugging me, and I think I finally figured out, like, I think I just like it better when, rather than doing that, just doing kind of a cross-hatching with lines to show that there's hair on his face, rather than doing in, like, that full, actual different color thing. So I think I'm going to experiment with that, because I've noticed that when I do drawings of him in pencil, I just think it looks better than when I do the full color ones, and I think that's why that's the thing that's been bugging me. So,
cool.
Anyway, that's about it. What have you been up to?
Well, I was interviewed for the Logan Whitehurst documentary. My friend Logan, finally. We were, supposed to be interviewing at MarsCon, and then I wasn't able to go to MarsCon. So, yeah. We tried to schedule an in-person interview, and there was no way we could make it happen. So we finally just said, screw it, we'll do it over Zoom. So I set up my camera in my little sound booth over there and did it in there. And I used my nice camera because I figure he's using a good camera. I don't want to use a crappy webcam for my interview. Which was good practice because I want to start filming my music video for Still Quarantined. And I need to remember how to use that camera. So I figured this was good practice for, getting it out and getting it working again. So hopefully I can get that going soon. And I wanted to mention my father is doing much better. He is now testing negative and he's up and about and feeling so almost like his old self, but still feeling a little under the weather, but he's doing better.
That's good.
So Dan, what have you been up to?
Oh man, I've been trying to level up on the mixing and mastering game, and it is like slow incremental slogging. Trying to change mindsets from the old, loudness wars, compress everything as much as possible to fit on the CD, to like streaming service, negative 14 LUFS. Getting way too technical here, but basically, if you compress the heck out of it like you used to, it will actually sound quieter than somebody who is mastered for the streaming service.
Oh, so you're actually mastering for the compression streaming.
So like instead of they like did this different scale, there's a loudness. It's called LUFS, loudness unit. So instead of just dB, there's this negative 14 LUFS. So basically, if you compress up to a point, there's like an optimal point in the middle. It's a ranking for the entire song as a whole. So like when you're trying to dial it in, you're like going through the entire song, trying to get the value, and it's kind of it's time consuming. But the end result is that when you get normalized for the streaming, hopefully, your song will sound perceptibly louder than one that is even more compressed, like for CD loudness. You want to be like comparable.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I never even... I knew they mastered things differently for vinyl and whatnot, but I never considered doing it differently for streaming.
You can do it you can do like a regular master for CD, and it'll automatically turn it down. But the way that it does that, it turns down compressed stuff more than less compressed stuff after a point. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. This is my TED talk. No. But the aggravating thing, of course, then, like, if you listen on the web player on the FuMP to, like, my song in 2 Sleeps for this week, it does not have the volume normalization, so my song sounds really, really quiet compared to his. But, like, if you put it through Spotify, I think they'll come out sounding about the same.
Yeah. Well, we remaster all the songs when we make the CDs anyway to make sure that they're all kind of roughly the same volume. There's only so much we can do, but, we try.
Oh well. Anyway, so that's it. But that's basically been my life. It's like deep technical. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. At least you're making your stuff sound better. That's always good.
Yeah. Yes. It's going to be worth the struggle, I hope.
Cool. Yeah, I've taken a couple like online classes on mixing and mastering and stuff, and some of them were really helpful.
I found some helpful material. I think I've been working on 2 things. I've been working on Captain Ambivalent, and then I've also been working on a side project, which is like a demo for a musical theater piece. It's more like standard instrumentation, and somebody else did most of the recording on that. So it's been kind of different comparing. But I actually tried to send out Captain Ambivalent because I was getting too frustrated, and I think no one seems to. The results were not good. So I think nobody is used to mixing for accordion as the main instrument.
Yeah, you have to talk to whoever engineered Weird Al's, last couple albums, I guess.
Yeah, when I listen to it, so I listen to it, this may be too much. Like make a cut gesture if this is getting too much, but like I listen to his previous ones, and usually he's got a guitar going also. So like his accordion is like off to one side, or it's not like the way when we play the song, I basically got the accordion split left and right, like they used to do with guitars on the classic rock kind of.
You can do that, and the other thing that I do with my music is try to separate the wavelengths of the different sounds just so they don't blend together. So if you're doing accordion and guitar, you can figure out where the accordion is in the equalization and boost or reduce, the accordion, and then move the guitar away from it, so that they're 2 separate sounds.
Yeah, and there's a juggling because like the accordion and voice and cymbals are really competing for the same. So that's the tricky part. Anyway.
Welcome to Mixing with the FuMP.
That's right. Special.
So give us a quick intro to the song you posted, and we'll give it a listen.
Alrighty. Well, this is a humorous recap of seasons 1 through 3 of Stranger Things. It was inspired by the show, I think you guys have heard of, Brain Dead. It was a Netflix show, like in 2016. It kind of put the presidential election, like in terms of alien brain suckers invading and taking over people's brains. And Jonathan Colton did a previously on song for each episode.
Oh, wow.
Like a little humorous song that recapped the previous episode. It was kind of a serious horror kind of, well, serious political satire horror, but he did anyway. So I thought, well, somebody should do something like that for Stranger Things. So here it is.
So here is No One Believes Me by Captain Ambivalent.
No one believes me when I try to talk to people about the stranger things in town. No one believes me. They just bully and demean me and they try to bring me down. But I know my boy's still alive, just trapped inside a parallel dimension where he's somehow turning on and off the lights. And the ones who faked his death were weaponizing psychic children. But the program ended badly and I'm really not surprised when the walls between the worlds grew thin. Something from outside got in, but no one believes me when I try to talk to people about the stranger things in town. No one believes me. They just bully and demean me and they try to bring me down. Then the boy hawked up a loogie that his friend found and adopted. They were uncontrolled experiments to find out what it ate. And it grew into a monster, but it did not eat the children. And the boy got unpossessed again before it was too late. Then the psychic made the gateway close just by bleeding from her nose. But no one believes me when I try to talk to people about the stranger things in town. No one believes me. They just bully and demean me and they try to bring me down. They try to bring me down.
You're like upside down.
Yeah. You know, it's a really long time between seasons.
I know, right? Aren't those kids like 30 now?
Okay, here it comes. Now apparently the shopping mall was really built by Russian secret agents. No one noticed speaking Russian wearing Russian uniforms. And that sweet little old lady's got something in her basement. The other acting people say to just leave her alone. Then the other acting people melt into a monster Voltron. The psychic's not the only way of making things explode. No one believes me, I know. No one believes me when I try to talk to people about the stranger things in town. No one believes me. They just bully and demean me and they try to bring me down.
Very nice.
Thank you. Erupting like a righteous volcano.
Yeah, so very good summary of the first three seasons.
Did you make the sound?
It's the sound. Did you make the sound?
Did I make
Said
the
the
sound?
words.
Erupting like a
God damn
righteous
it.
volcano.
Sorry. You know, when Kyle said it last week, I missed it last week, and when I was listening back to the show, I missed it again. So I was hearing myself say, like, wait, did Kyle say it? And so anyway. Sorry, I'm tired. I have a headache.
See,
you know the deal.
I'd say you have one job, but you actually have several jobs. So.
Yeah, there's 1 million jobs.
So yeah, Stranger Things, dig it. So you a big fan of the show?
Yeah, I think it's very good. I think I'm not spoiling this season for you, but I think it's they kicked it up
I
a
haven't
notch.
seen season 4 yet, or season 4 part 1. Excuse me.
I'll just give it very positives, and it was I tried to introduce new specific geekly fandom songs every year when I was busking at Gen Con, and this was like the 2019. It was this one. I forget what the other one was, but this was like the most popular. like all of these kids who maybe you might think would be too young to be watching like this sort of R-rated gore fest, but they all loved it. So
I watched the first season with my kids when they were probably a little too young, but they loved it. They enjoyed it.
Yeah. I guess they're all desensitized now. Anyway.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
I watched Ash vs. Evil Dead with my youngest, who was like 9 at the time, and I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't do this. But what are you gonna do?
Oh well.
Yeah.
it's an educational teaching moment.
Yeah. See, when you really put your head up a corpse's ass, it's very
Right.
messy. See.
Yeah.
I just like the thought of when they were working on that, it's like, hey, should we concern ourselves that maybe we'll get asked to direct an MCU movie? No, don't worry about it.
So I've been a big fan of the Stranger Things show since it started. The first season I think is a masterpiece. I don't think seasons 2 and 3 quite hold up to the first one, but I do still enjoy them, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with season 4.
Yeah, most of the reviews, kind of non-spoilery, short reviews have basically said that this is the best season since season 1. Just the only thing that's, the only thing that I've, and this isn't a spoiler or anything, that kind of is bugging me about season 4 thus far is the character Will. I just feel like, I don't know, he just seems like an annoying thing that they kind of have to keep there because you can't not have Will be in the show.
Right.
Another thing that bugs me about him, I know this is a weird thing to say, his haircut bugs me. It's like, I know it's 1986, but it just feels like everybody else, it's all 1986, all of their look and their hairstyle, makes sense. But Will just seems very, Forrest Gumpy out of it, he's just, I don't know. He just, I can only hope and assume that maybe they'll do something with him in the second half of season 4 that will kind of justify the fact that he still exists on the show. but mainly he's just kind of been annoying me. That's the only bad thing I can say about this.
I saw something online that showed how, the hair did not change as the kid grew up. They had screenshots from all the seasons together, and basically the hair is the same size and shape. It just sort of anyway.
Oh, that's funny. I forgot what I was going to say. My brain is not working tonight. 1986. That was the year I started making music. So while I'm watching this, I'm going to be thinking, yeah, I'm off in the background somewhere writing Infection and A Fairy's Tale and the stupid, early sudden death songs that are absolutely terrible.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little scary to think about, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I was 13 at the time. I was writing songs in my basement, recording them on my parents' boombox. That's all I had.
1986. I maybe shouldn't confess this, but I was in college then, and I had done a musical the year before, written a musical, and was not. I don't think I was yet doing pop music at that point. I think I was writing things in my head.
You weren't writing songs about the Upside Down in 1986?
No. Oddly enough.
The other thing, I've always said that Stranger Things wins the award for best accurate portrayal of the decade of the 80s.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And there's some scenes that involve bullying in season 4 that are oh man, I got through it fine, but it was just so triggery. just the meanness and just it was just
Yep.
the Duffer Brothers and their team are just so perfectly getting it right.
Yeah. The first season, they nailed that 1983 vibe and feeling, and it to the point where it looked like the series was shot in 1983, and they just now got a print of it.
Yeah,
it was that well done, and that was one of my complaints about season 2 or season 3. I think it was season 3. It was a little too much. Hey, remember this song from the 80s? Hey, remember this thing from the 80s? They did a little too much of that.
Yeah, I think that might have been season 2.
Although season 3, I loved Starcourt Mall. I wish it was real. It was so awesome. I'm I want to go there. I miss being at a place just like that.
They should make one and have like a hidden elevator that goes down to the Russian bunker.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if they'll do this or not, but they had some of the. I think at the end of season 3, some of them went off to California, and like if this were historically accurate, I think those kids would learn about rap. While the kids still in the middle of Indiana.
Yeah, in 86. 86, I think, was when Walk This Way broke out. So if they had MTV, they would have heard about that. And then later was the Beastie Boys. So
it was like I was at a summer camp in the early, I don't know, like 80 or something, and the kids from California knew about rap, and they were showing everybody Kemosabe, jump on it, and everybody else from the rest of the country was like, "What? What's this?" So.
Probably had the same reaction my grandmother had. Like, what is this? Is this music? What are you doing?
No, I think we all thought it was cool, but it was just so, I don't know.
Yeah, I remember the Sugar Hill Gang with Rapper's Delight came out. I may not have known that was the title, but I just remember seeing that song on whatever it was, American Bandstand or something like that, and just thinking not thinking that this was like some new genre of music, but just kind of like, oh, this is an interesting song. And then a bit later, the whole breakdancing craze happened, and then there was I don't think it was made by K-Tel, but there was an album you could order on the TV called Electric Breakdance, and that had the song Jam On It by Nucleus. Mm-hmm. So that was like the first rap song I really ever heard, and I was just kind of like, what is this thing? And and then it wasn't too long after that Run DMC broke out with Walk This Way, and then that's when I started learning about the Fat Boys exist, and all this other stuff, and it just opened up my whole world. So
I went to Chicago in '83, and then the education began in earnest.
Yeah, I want to say it was 1982 or maybe 1983. I had gotten into breakdancing, and I was listening to the radio, and this guy I know, or a kid at the time, told me I should listen to this New York radio station because they play rap, and I was like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Well, just listen." So I turned on the station and I heard a couple of like R&B songs, and I was like, "Whatever." And then I heard some song by Grandmaster Flash, and I don't know what it was, but it was one of those like 13-minute long songs that they did at the time. And it's just him rapping and going and going and going. And I remember just stopping and staring at the radio and just going, wow, like this is cool. And like, how does he do that? Like, how does he breathe while he's doing that, And then a friend of mine played me his Fat Boys tape, and that was that. I was hooked.
All right. I teased something exciting happening 25 minutes in on Twitter. So I'm going to unmask.
Ah!
Dun, 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 dun.
I hope that was worth it.
His secret identity has been revealed. The whole time you were doing that, I was thinking you had this filter with like a light beard on you, and I was thinking that's what Luke needs for Darius, is like the filter just put a light beard on him.
Yeah, that's sort of as your model of the.
There you go. Yeah.
That would totally work. Just a little shading. Oh well. Darius on Zoom.
As long as it looks better than the CGI cell shading animation of Chippendale Rescue Rangers movie.
I wasn't really interested in seeing that movie until I heard you and Kyle talking about it, and now I want to see it. Now I put it. I added it to my spreadsheet of things to watch. It's much like Space Jam: A New Legacy. It's like, it's not high art, but danged if it isn't entertaining and hilarious. It is an entertainment. Yes, it is, and it's very much like, oh, Luke, that things you like? Here's another big thing that you will like very much. Have this thing, Luke, So other than me being, a bit of a nitpicky snob about wanting all the rest of those main characters besides Dale to have been hand-drawn instead of CGI cell-shaded,
Everything else about that movie is just like, yes, please more. Like I want a sequel to this in some fashion, because I want more things in that world and that version of Toontown Hollywood. So anyway.
Cool. So what else is going on with you, Dan?
That is really it. I've just been digging down in the studio and you know,
Are you going to be at Gen Con again this year?
I am unfortunately skipping one more year. I found that I haven't found a mask that I can sing in without, keeling over. And so I'm just going to skip one more year and see what the...
You got to get one of those big, like, plague masks?
Yeah, it's like even those, for me anyway, the singing and the playing accordion at the same time is very aerobic. And,
yes, it is. I'm sure.
And then doing it like in Gen Con all day, and I only usually just do Saturday and Sunday is what I've done in the past, and it's pretty grueling. I mean, it's fun, but it's also very grueling. So, so I'm just gonna sit back one more year and hope things are better. Although now, after listening to previous FuMPcasts, I realized that there's this entire segment of like event concerts and things that I had no idea existed that have been going on that I need to check out and
the tour dates that we do.
Be more intelligent. Well, there's like different. I'd heard rumors that different. Actually, I was going to try to schedule one though. But where was it? Like the first, it was going to be the 2020 or the 2021. I've finally gotten some intel. Oh, there are people that do like scheduled shows in rooms, and I could do that in addition. And then I think I'll sign up for that. And then it was 2020. So
yeah, I started performing at Gen Con as a part of their costume contest, and I would show up in a costume, but also be doing a song. In 1994, I did "What's Up, Spock," and I took home the trophy of most humorous act. And then I came back the next year with my Pinky and the Brain song, Insane in the Brain. And then I missed 96 because I was working that summer doing caricatures. And then after that, there was a different people that would do like a Klingon troupe would do like a sketch as their judging time entertainment. And then those people decided to stop doing that. And I reached out and was able to talk them into letting me be the judging time entertainment starting in 1997. And it just became like a tradition. So that was out in Milwaukee when they used to have it in a space called the Plankinton Theater, which was a proper theater, which was great. And I performed there for years, and then the whole convention moved to Indianapolis, and then I joined them out there. And once we were in the Indianapolis space, after a few years went by, that's when more performers started showing up, and we started looking for spaces to do our own shows in, either individually or as a group. And over the years, like the Damples of Dorkington and Mark Gunn and the Brobdingnagian Bards and Mikey Mason, and now Bonnie Gordon of the Library Bards is going out there a bunch. In fact, I saw she posted some tour dates of her own this past week, and she listed Gen Con among them. And Mikey Mason and Mark Gunn are kind of the two main guys every year now who are setting up that kind of stuff. So if you need help with that, I'd say reach out to probably Mikey Mason and let him know once you're ready to go back. So
I think we'll cross fingers for next year.
Yeah, I haven't been there since 2015, and I've basically been holding off, waiting for me to like actually get my act together and release another album, and figure out some merch that people might actually want to buy, so that I can try to make at least most of my money back. Because I used to just drive there from Wisconsin, which and they would cover my hotel room and a bunch of other stuff, so that I could actually make a profit on the weekend. But now that I live in California, and flying out there in and of itself is like not gonna, I'm gonna end up in deeply in the hole, so. But I miss it, and I wish I look forward to going back sometime.
We may not have overlapped. I can't remember now what year.
I think you may have been there in 2015. I know at some point in recent time I was like looking up like photos of me at Gen Con, or like the general music track. There was some reason I needed to find I need to be a reference of what I looked like or what somebody looked like. And I was going through all these photos, and I found a picture of you. So I'm not sure. It might have been like one of my friends, because a bunch of our friends will go out there and they'll take pictures of like all the acts that are busking. Tom Smith used to be there too. So I think we overlapped, but I don't know if I ever actually like met you at the time.
I was like scrambling around especially the first couple of years, and didn't really have much time to meet anybody. I was there just for the weekend. I was the year they started doing making Sunday be their family day, quote, quote. Mm-hmm. I was sort of hired most specifically for the family day, and then Saturday just to throw in. But so yeah. I never had like a table in the exhibit hall or anything. So that made it harder to network a little bit, but
yeah, because I think their philosophy was the acts who can busk like don't necessarily need a table, so to speak, because they could just sell their stuff wherever, and then acts like mine who couldn't busk, could have the table. And I think maybe, I don't know, I haven't been there in years, so I don't know if they've changed up their feelings on that, but
I think they had a limited table space too, so it was sort of like there was some. Anyway, it was great. I
remember one year I was just sitting there at my table, and all of a sudden I heard somebody go like, "Hey, Lukeski, how's it going?" I looked up, and it was MC Frontalot.
Ooh.
like, "Oh, hey, Damien, how's it going?" Oh, and I know Professor Shy Guy. He's another one who's been out there recently. So yeah, all awesome people.
Cool. Yeah, it's completely awesome. But singing in a mask.
Singing in a mask. Yeah, I did a show at Worldcon in December where I had to perform in a mask, and that was hard. So, breathing is tough when you're trying to rap really fast in a mask.
Yep.
All right, so do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Oh, golly. Just, if you like this song, spread the word. Join my mailing list. CaptainAmbivalent.com. There is a new album in the works. It's going to probably sound similar to this song generally. I can't project a release date yet, but if you're on the email list, you'll find out. I don't know.
All right, sounds good. All right, we're going to move on to news and the second song. Are you going to stick around, or are you taking off?
I'll stick around. Why not?
All righty, then. Here's a promo.
This is the FuMP.
I swagger proud to the casino, past the penny slots and Keno. Got me a gig up here in Reno, blackjack.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll in the highway to hell. But I'd rather sell my soul for a trip to Taco Bell. It's not a question now, too bad for rock and roll. And Azazel killed her dead with her two babies asleep in bed. Their names are Sam and Dean.
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com. THEFUMP.com.
Stop! Burger time!
Time for funny music news. Something.
In the news, I have no news for this week. Luke, you got anything?
Man, I can't think of anything. I'm sorry.
It's a slow week. That's fine. It's fine. These weeks happen. Thankfully, we're not a news program. We can move on. So, tour dates. Sundays in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goody hosting at the Bluebird. Tuesdays online, Phil Johnson at Roadside Attraction. Thursdays online, Steve Goody and Brad Tassel. On the 10th online, Carla Ulbrich. And the 16th through the 20th in St. Louis, Missouri, Mikey Mason. And I still have Jessica Delfino's birthday on here, which was yesterday. So we did that last week. All right.
Today it's my brother Michael's birthday.
Happy birthday, Michael.
Birthday.
All right, our second song this week is by Two Sleeps, featuring me on doing background growly death vocals type stuff. Here is Pupasaur by Two Sleeps. Was Qbert banging his head to the music?
I think so.
Because that's what it looked like. I look over and there's
Well-
this cat. Like,
Yeah.
Technically, he was headbutting like this thing right here, doing that thing that cats do, where it's like I'm trying to either mark my territory or get someone's attention by just kind of doing your forehead, like,
yeah.
and that's what he was doing
It's,
up against
it
this
just,
thing.
I see this
but
cat, and it seemed like in time with the music. I was like, that's fantastic.
It's a metal cat. Yep.
Metal cat. Yep.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
So the way I got involved with this was Michael sent me a mix of the song just to get my opinion on it, and I kind of jokingly said, hey, I can do a death metal vocal if you want, background vocals on it. And I sent him the link to the new album by Carcass, which I absolutely adore. It's called Torn Arteries. And if you're into death metal at all, definitely check out this album. It's absolutely amazing. And they do a lot of harmonized vocals, so they have the low, then the high, and then all the distortion all together and stuff. And so he was like, yeah, send me a whole bunch of that. So I was like, sure. So I I went into my sound booth and shredded my vocal cords for about 20 minutes and Pupasaur, stuff like that. So, and Michael sent me a statement about this song since he wasn't able to be here. He says, Pupasaur is a death metal cover of a song I did in 2018 from a country bluegrass project called Hellbilly Heartthrob, available wherever you stream your music. It features the great and powerful Devo Spice on backup vocals and will appear on my next album, which will be called Atrocities. The album title and concept are inspired by a horrible customer I had when I worked retail. We didn't have a certain product she was looking for, and she, in all seriousness, said, "That's an atrocity." I assumed she was joking, so I chuckled, and she gave me the "why the fuck are you laughing" look, so I got all serious, put on my best deadpan sarcasm face, and said, "Yup, it's right up there with genocide." To which she responded, "Right? You get it." So the album will be mostly songs about minor everyday annoyances, but presented in a very melodramatic fashion, which lends itself quite well to the genre.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's that. Yeah, I can totally see that happening. But yeah, we need more metal on the FuMP. We need to turn this into the funny metal project, I think, is what the FuMP needs to be. Maybe it's just me, but it'll just be me and Eric Eagle. Well, the two of us will be the fans for the funny metal project. And
I like a good metal song.
okay.
Yeah.
I was listening to Death Clock last week just because I felt like it. And then I wanted to go back and watch the show again. So, that always happens.
Yeah.
Okay, Two Sleeps is at twosleeps.com. This is number twosleeps.com, which has links to all of his music on all the various streaming and social media platforms. So check that out when you can. All right, let's do some feedback.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback.
Feedback.
Feedback, that segment of the show we do about now?
Feedback. Feedback.
Feedback.
Draconis alert. Draconis alert. Draconis alert.
Draconis wrote, Luke, you and Kyle missed that Bonkers appeared in the Rescue Rangers movie, just with walrus tusks. And then he sends a link to a screenshot of it. A blink and you miss it moment.
Okay. I'm sure that there's hundreds of things I missed in that movie. There are so many things densely layered into that movie in certain scenes that it's like the fact that we're watching it on streaming. They might release this on Blu-ray, who knows, but it's like you used to be able to, even on VHS or DVD or on Blu-ray, you could use like the pause button and then literally go through things frame by frame. You can't go through things frame by frame on streaming, and
No,
that
you can't.
annoys me.
Yeah.
So if I intend to do that someday, I'll basically have to wait until that happens or something.
That's why I want to get the Blu-ray of The Cabin in the Woods, so that I can watch the last like half an hour of that movie just in slow motion, frame by frame, picking out all the monsters and all the kills and everything.
Oh, it's so great!
Like especially this scene with all the security monitors where there's like a different kill happening on each one. Like such a great movie.
Like talk about that. That could have been a franchise unto itself.
Yes, it could have.
In
a way, it is. If you think about it, like every horror movie is, takes place in that universe technically.
Because it's like, and that thing is that ritual or whatever been going on for years and years and years, and they had like 36 different things up on that big whiteboard. It's like, I want to see all of them.
Right.
Like, how are each of these supposed to play out in the grander scenario, depending on what they picked up in that basement.
Yeah. Such a great movie.
Yeah.
All right.
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. Now you have a job.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's song is by Steve Goody. And
Tuesday song is not yet posted.
we'll have to wait and see who comes up for Tuesday. All right. So I haven't decided what tomorrow's playlist topic is going to be. However, Alvarant sent in a whole bunch of suggestions. I'm looking at the list and I'm trying to think of something where I can because he sent in a whole bunch of topic suggestions, but only one song per topic suggestion. So I have to think of like the rest of the songs in the list.
I actually have a topic suggestion myself.
Okay.
So getting caught up on recent Dr. Demento episodes. Excuse me. He did a topic where it was artists who are, mostly considered serious artists doing like a funny song. So
yeah, he does that periodically. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just noticed this year finally he never includes hip hop in any of that, and I don't know if it's because so much of hip hop, at least the early stuff already had kind of a sense of humor infused into it. But I just kind of feel like, that's a, like to leave out hip hop entirely is kind of, he's missing something there. So I don't know. So not just any comedy rap song, but specifically comedy rap songs like, like Run DMC's song like Ragtime,
Ragtime.
Or
I was just
or
gonna say.
UBL and just like try to find the like, the hip hop acts that are established acts that are like highly respected, and then find their weird, one or two off songs that were funny, and then have that be a playlist. So I don't know. That was just
I know. Sir Mix-a-Lot's done a couple too.
Yeah.
Square Dance Rap and
like LL Cool J's "My Rhyme Ain't Done."
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, the Beastie Boys song "Girls," I think would,
Yeah, I could do that. All right.
Eminem has a song, I think it's on the Encore album, called Rain Man, and that one's just a weird nonsense song.
Would Digital Underground count, or are they too funny in general?
I think they'd count. I mean, they're well respected in the hip hop world.
All right, so we got Ragtime.
Maybe with that, go with like Underwater Rhymes.
I was going to suggest The Odd Couple.
Okay, yeah, that'd be good too.
Would you say Girls?
Girls by the Beastie Boys, My Rhyme Ain't Done by LL Cool J. Either You Be Illin' or Ragtime by Run DMC.
How about Jelly Roll by the Fat Boys? That's always one of my favorites.
I could see that. I mean, there's other songs by the Fat Boys I like more, but I could see that being what you'd pick. 2, 3, 4. That's 5. As a joke by would 911 as a joke by Public Enemy count, or is that too serious?
I don't know.
Oh, you know what? Better one. Flavor Flav Cold Lampin' by.
Oh
yeah.
Cold Lampin'. All right.
Yeah, I think 911 as a joke is pretty serious.
Yeah.
It's a serious topic, but it's,
the video is certainly meant to be funny,
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So who else was out there at the time?
I love that song has.
Ludacris. What's that? He did a song called "She's a Hoe" or something like that. I'll have to find it. It's a funny song.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very misogynistic, but it's a funny song. You take a hoe to a hotel. Why? Because hotel everybody about it. You know.
I like in Flavor Flav Cole Lampin', it's like Magnum Brown, Skooski Voluski, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. You can put that in your don't know what you said book. Took yook look wook nook. That was. So my question is, was he improvising that whole song, or did he literally write that down ahead of time?
Yeah, you can never tell with Flavor Flav. He's a weird dude.
But like, you know how I always have like in my bag I always have like my current notebook of whatever. In high school, I had one that I called my don't know what you said book.
Did Busta Rhymes do any funny songs?
Oh man. Well, I mean, the one that would most hit the target would be his song "Grinch 2000" from the How the Grinch Stole Christmas soundtrack with Jim Carrey. But I mean, he's generally got a good sense of humor about himself. But I don't know of anything that could straight up be called like a comedy song from Busta. Besides that Grinch one.
NWA and Ice Cube did some. I mean, No Vaseline I always thought was a funny song, but I don't know if that would.
AMG has it was an interstitial track called P-Funk, but the P stands for polka.
What about MC Search? What didn't he do?
Well, I mean, Third Base certainly they did Flipping Off the Wall like Lucy Ball, and Al's ABCs is great. And I don't know if any of Search's on their own would count as.
Here's a song. Here's a playlist. Here's a list called the 50 funniest rap songs. Let's see what's on here. Hurricane Chris, A Bay Bay, Drake, Hotline Bling, Chris Brown, Loyal, Big Sean, I Don't Fuck With You, Skilo, I Wish, Missy Elliott, Work It. I'm not feeling this list so far. MC Hammer, You Can't Touch This. Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back. Okay, they got one. Run DMC, It's Tricky. Okay.
Really? God.
They must define funny a little differently.
Yeah, I think they do. Lil Jon, Snap Your Fingers, Outkast, Miss Jackson, Big Sean, Nicki Minaj, Dance Ass Remix, Cardi B, Bodak Yellow, Shaggy, It Wasn't Me. I don't even consider that a rap song.
Yeah, really.
Yo Gotti, Down in the DM, Yin Yang Twins, Wait the Whisper song, Ludacris, Move Bitch. There was a meme going around a while ago that says, God, it's been like 20 years and we still don't know if that bitch ever got out of Ludacris's way.
I remember Chris Rock did a bit about how he loves rap music, but he was tired of defending it, as an art form, or whatever, because it's hard to defend things like "move, bitch, get out the way." It's like, well, clearly there is a bitch, and she is in his way. You need to look around your life to look for bitches. You need to get out of your way.
Afro Man, Because I Got High.
Well, yeah.
You know what? I'll add that to the list. That's a good one.
But that's the weird thing is, though, Afro Man is besides Because I Got High and the album that song is from, has Afro Man done anything else?
Yeah, I don't know. Rapper's Delight. A lot of these I haven't heard of. 50 Cent, How to Rob? Really? Public Enemy, Can't Do Nothing For You, Man. Okay. I know NWA did. Oh, The Far Side, Your Mama. That's a good one.
Did you? I assume you saw the movie Who's the Man with Dr. Dre and Ed Lover?
Yes, long time ago. Paul Revere by the Beastie Boys. Oh, Lottie Dottie by Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick.
Oh, yeah.
If I can find it. I don't know if that's on YouTube.
I just remember...
Oh, Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince.
Well, like, that's... I don't know. I almost kind of don't want to count them just because all of the big hits of Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince were all comedy-based, you know?
True.
So,
Yeah.
Ice Cube, Look Who's Burnin'. Humpty Dance at number 3. Notorious B.I.G., Just Playin'. Biz Markie, Just a Friend is number 1.
But, like, around the time that movie Who's the Man came out, like, Flavor Flav had gotten arrested a couple of times for, I don't know, whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So he had a cameo in that movie because Dr. Dre and Ed Lover are playing cops, and so, like, they're in the precinct, and, like, some cops are bringing in Flavor Flav. Like, they're arresting him, and he's like, you know, hey, can you guys help me out? And they both look at him and say, I can't do nothing for you, man.
Oh, that's great.
And Dennis Leary was so hilarious in that as the police captain. Now I'm gonna look that up on YouTube. Anyway,
all right. So that's 10 songs. I can, and if that's not 30 minutes, I'll find something. That should be good. Thank you. That's a good one.
Sure.
All right.
Productive FuMPCast.
Productive FuMPCast. Yes. It's nice when I have help. Doesn't happen very often. All right. So Dan, plug yourself one more time.
CaptainAmbivalent.com. Links to all the things are there.
And Two Sleeps is at twosleeps.com. Also, links to all the things are there. And let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
I'm Luke Ski.
And there's the Captain.
I'm Captain Ambivalent.
Dun dun dun.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of Fidem Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Shout it to random people on the street. And be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say,
I'm alive. I'm dead. I'm watching TV. I'm looking at you. Fuck you. I'm dead again. I'm ready to rob this house.